Hey there, Laura Erdman-Luntz here, co-founder of the Simply Serendipity team with a quick business training to help you plan your next business goal or rank up. Now, you definitely want to start with the end in mind. It's always where you want to start, and I'm hoping with your business building as Royal Cron Diamond because, that's the way we roll in Simply Serendipity. Now, I definitely recommend breaking it down a bit, which is what we're going to talk about today. And a great place to start there is what rank do you want to be at your next convention? So usually you need to rank up by March of the 3 months previous to the convention in order to be recognized at convention. So we are going to look at numbers approaching March. So if you have the link that goes with this training, it's going to take you to this page. And what this is, it's actually a Google spreadsheet that I created that you can have for yourself, and you'll just click on make a copy and it will open up in your Google Drive and it will be yours. Now I created a test one for us here, and what you can do is go up into the title, you just click on it and name it whatever it is you want. It's very helpful just so you know for your sponsor to put your name there. Okay, the first thing you need to do is decide your goal for convention. So whatever it might be, and frankly, your goal might be for one of the retreats. So you need to rank up for Silver Retreat usually in February, but again, you just want to check from member services what the requirement is in order to earn that retreat for that year, so you can find out when it is. So whenever it is, you can use these. You obviously can change these months if you want to. Just know that this down here is actually a formula, so you might need to adjust the page a little bit if you adjust the columns at all. Okay. So I have already made it so it will add for you, which is great. Let's assume you want to reach silver, because that is often a really big goal, because silver is when you get a huge pay raise, which is really nice. So in order to hit silver, you need 2 builders at 4,000, plus you need 1,000 outside of your builders, so your PGV. And then you're going to need, in order to get to 10,000, because that's what you need for total OGV, you're going to need 1,000 somewhere else. We'll just do that for now. We may adjust and manipulate as we go. So we happen to be in October right now, which gives us 5.5 months. We're mid-October. 5.5 months to reach the goal. Plenty of time. There is so much magic that can happen in 5.5 months. So maybe right now you're thinking, okay, I have one builder who is going to easily reach 1,000 this month. I don't have my second builder, but I do have someone who places a 300 PV order every month, and I have another person who places a 300 PV. So we'll see what happens there. And you've got other people in your front line and maybe your own order that gives you 500 PV. So you can see you have an OGV of 2,100. Now, looking ahead, you're going to say, okay, November. Now, November happens to be usually the largest OGV month of the entire year because of Black Friday and preparing for the holidays. A lot of people do their shopping with Young Living. And maybe underneath your builder, maybe that person has a builder or two, or maybe they have a few people who said, I'll absolutely host for you in November. And so when you look at those numbers, and you'll need to break them down, if you've got a couple of parties, each party usually nets about 500 OGV, or 500 PV, excuse me. So if you're going to have 2 parties and you're going to have all those extra orders, there's a good chance you're going to make 2,500, possibly even more. Now, do keep in mind that November does tend to be elevated because it is the special month with Black Friday. Builder number 2, maybe this is the time to approach that person, and maybe you already have, and say, hey, would you be willing to host? And they said, sure. So they're hosting a party for you plus their own order, and they've got, and maybe you're going to hit 1,000. Let's just say 1,000. And this person will definitely be placing their 300 PV order. And then you'll have, let's say 750 here, because it's going to be a little elevated. And so now you can see we're at 4,550. Now, Again, keeping in mind it's a little elevated in November, but you're also working on this. And December also tends to be very, very high, but you're also putting, because people are buying gifts. But like I said, you're working on this. You're really putting your attention on it. You really want to build to silver. So there is a really good chance with that energy, you can keep your numbers the same in December. Possibly even higher, but I'm going to be conservative here. Okay, January also tends to be a big month if you're putting your focus on events. If you're asking people to host for you, January tends to be a really big month because people tend to be a little bored after the holidays and they're looking for something to do. If you're in colder climates, people need things to get out of the house for. So say you're putting all of your attention now on these two builders because you need to get them to 4,000 each in 3 months. So in December, you've really been working those people, the people under them, you've been working those lines, maybe having a hosting incentive or something, and you've got 3 or 4 events in each line. You could easily get them to 3,000 or more. And I would say this one, you would put even more attention on this one because it's behind this one, right? So maybe you're going to get that one to 2,500 with, maybe you did 2 or 3 parties here and you did 4 here or something. And this person finally said, sure, I will host for you. And so you're going to get them up to 750, say. And then you've got your 750 down here. Now realize, just so you know, you need 1,000 PGV outside of your legs, but that also will include this builder. Because the 2 legs, these are the 2 legs that will hit silver for you. So you need 1,000 PGV outside of these 2 legs. So it's both that builder and your miscellaneous as well as your own personal order. Okay, now February, weird month. February tends to be a really high month even though it is so short. There is something about February that gets the energy flowing. Now you've also going to be able to play on Lucy Libido workshops, and those are amazing. People just go gaga over those, and hosting events around that. I would say easily 3,500 here, and for this one, again, you're putting a lot of your attention here. I would say you're going to get them to 3,000, and here you've got this, maybe a couple people out of here were interested in helping you. So maybe they host if you had time, but realize hosting for these people is where your focus needs to be. If you've got extra time, I say go for it. But if you don't, just put all your attention up here because you just need to get each of them to 4,000 and you're good as gold. Okay, so then in March, the beauty of March is there tends to be a lot of incentives in March from uplines because it is a big rank up month. And because of that, usually you're going to get a lot of support for incentives from the people above you, and you want to rock out those events. And you could easily go from 3,000 to 4,000, from 3,500 to 4,000 in order for that to happen, which gets you to your 10,000 OGV goal. Okay? Now, the other thing you need to do is you want to make sure your builders are with you with this goal. That's something that they're interested in doing. Now, depends on how much you want to do, how much work you want to do with this. If they are on board, great. You're going to link arms with them and you can do workshops with them. You can do incentives for them, whatever it is you want to do. Now, if they really aren't that interested in building, but they say, hey, I am really willing to do the 100 PVER order, then you might want to consider doing the building for them if you want. If you want to put people underneath them, it often gets people energized and gets them excited. So I definitely would work with the people underneath them and work with those people because that way it's that builders people, so when they take over, they will run with it themselves. Or maybe they do want to build, but the thought of getting to 4,000 by March is overwhelming. And if you say, look, if I help you, would that be of interest to you? So you always want to make sure your builders are with you. Now, once you get these numbers, now you can look back. So say you're in October like we are right now, and there's actually about 8 days left in October, and you say, well, this one is still at 800. What can I do to get it to 1,000? Or this one, I happen to know I would like to get them to 1,000 next month. Let me ask that person if they're willing to host for me next month. Do you see how you can now have your eye on this month and the future? You know where you're going. It's like looking at this one. Boy, I want to hop that to 2,500. I got to get some events. I'm going to talk to that builder and see if they're willing to do this. You can even break it down by week to figure out what it is you need to do each week. If this happens to be a mom with kids at home, and a lot of their people are stay-at-home moms with young kids, guess what event you might like to do in November, right? A kids workshop for continuing education, or doing the really short video, a super short video for moms at home who has time to come to an event. Say, here's a 12-minute video. Can you watch that? You can text out to people. Plan ahead and look ahead. What kind of events does the larger team have that you can capitalize upon? What kind of educational information is already out there that this team might enjoy? Okay, I hope this helps you with your rank of goal. I really want to encourage you to go for it. Absolutely go for it. You totally can do it, and we are in your court to help you. I hope this helps inspire you to ignite your Young Living business. Thanks for joining me, and let your sponsor know if you have any questions.